I was 17 years old when I found a letter in my mom's closet that changed the way I saw my entire family. And no, it wasn't a love letter. It wasn't old photos. It was a document, a legal document, and it had my name on it. If you're watching this, stay with me till the end, because what I found that day didn't just shock me, it broke something inside me that took years to rebuild. And by the end of this video, I want you to ask yourself, how well do you really know the people who raised you? Let's get into it. The family I thought I knew. Okay, so let me back up a little. I grew up in a small house. Nothing fancy. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a backyard with a broken swing set that nobody ever fixed. My dad worked construction. My mom worked at a diner down the road. We weren't rich, but honestly, I never felt poor either. We had food. We had each other. That's what I thought mattered. I had one older brother. His name was Danny. He was 5 years older than me, and growing up, he was basically my hero.
He taught me how to ride a bike.
He taught me how to throw a punch, which, okay, got me in trouble at school more than once. But he was my person. You know that one person in your family who just gets you? That was Danny for me. My parents, Rosa and Mike, that's what I'll call them here, always seemed like a normal couple. They argued sometimes, sure. Every family does. But there was never anything that made me think something was wrong. Something was hidden. You might be wondering, okay, so what happened? I promise I'm getting there. But I need you to understand what normal looked like for me, so you understand just how much everything shattered later. Every Sunday, we had dinner together. Every single Sunday. My mom would make this chicken and rice dish that the whole house would smell like for hours. My dad would tell the same 3 jokes he always told, and we'd all laugh anyway because that was just us. That was our tradition. I used to think that tradition would last forever. I was wrong. The cracks start showing. It started small. Really small. The kind of small you brush off because you don't want to believe something's wrong. When I was 15, my dad started coming home late. Not crazy late, but late enough that dinner would get cold before he showed up. My mom would say, "He's just picking up extra shifts. We need the money." And I believed her. Why wouldn't I? Then bills started piling up on the kitchen counter. I'd see them stacked there, some of them stamped in red. You know, the final notice kind of red. I never said anything. I was a teenager. I figured that was adult stuff. Not my problem. But here's the thing about secrets in a family. They don't stay quiet forever. They leak. Slowly. Then all at once. I started noticing my parents whispering. Like, actual whispering, the kind where they'd stop talking the second I walked into the room. At first I thought maybe they were planning a surprise for my birthday or something. I was so naive. Danny noticed it too. He was 20 at the time, already out of the house, working at an auto shop. But he'd come by every week for that Sunday dinner, and one night after dinner, I caught him and my dad arguing in the garage. I couldn't hear everything, but I heard one sentence that stuck with me for weeks. Danny said, "You need to tell her the truth. She deserves to know." I remember standing behind that door, my heart just pounding. Tell who the truth?
Tell me?
What truth? I didn't ask. I know. You're probably yelling at your screen right now like, why didn't you just ask? But honestly, some part of me didn't want to know. Some part of me knew that whatever it was going to hurt. So I did what a lot of us do when we're scared. I ignored it. I told myself I imagined it. I told myself everything was fine.
It was not fine.
The day everything fell apart. 2 years later, I was 17 now, my parents told us they were getting divorced. I remember exactly where I was standing. In the kitchen.
My mom was crying, my dad wouldn't even look at me.
And I just stood there, frozen, because up until that moment, I genuinely thought we were a happy family. Or at least a family that was trying. I asked why. My mom just kept saying, "It's complicated, honey. It's complicated." My dad said nothing. He just grabbed his jacket and left. That night, I couldn't sleep. Around 1 a.m., I got up to get some water, and I saw my mom's bedroom light still on. The door was cracked open, and I saw her going through a box in her closet, an old shoebox, the kind you keep photos in. She didn't hear me. I stood there in the hallway, and I watched her pull out papers, folders, and she was crying so hard her whole body was shaking. I went back to bed. But the next morning, when she left for work, I went into that closet. I don't know what came over me. I just needed to know. And that's when I found it. A folder. Legal documents. Adoption papers.
With my name
On them. I sat on the floor of that closet for what felt like an hour, just staring at the paper. Reading it over and over, like maybe if I read it enough times, the words would change. They didn't change. I was adopted. Not Danny.
Me.
The truth behind the secret. You ever have that feeling where the whole world just tilts? Like gravity stops making sense for a second? That's exactly what that moment felt like. 17 years. 17 years of birthdays, of Sunday dinners, of being told you have your dad's stubbornness and you have your mom's laugh. All of it, every single comparison, was something people said just to make me feel like I belonged. And maybe they even believed it themselves after a while. I confronted my mom that same day. I couldn't wait. I couldn't sit on this. I remember my hands were literally shaking as I held the folder out to her. She sat down at the kitchen table. And for the first time in my life, I saw my mother look small. Not the strong woman who worked double shifts and never complained.
Small. Scared.
She told me the truth. Turns out, my biological mother was my mom's younger sister. My aunt, someone I had met maybe 4 or 5 times my whole life at family gatherings, someone I barely knew. She had me when she was 19, going through addiction, unable to care for a baby. My parents, the people who raised me, took me in when I was just a few months old. They never formally told extended family the details. As far as most people knew, I was simply their daughter. Period. Danny knew. He'd known for years. That's why he wasn't as shocked, why he'd been the one pushing my dad to finally tell me. My aunt, my biological mother, had passed away 3 years earlier. Overdose. And nobody ever told me that either. I had gone to a funeral when I was 14, thinking I was mourning a distant relative. I didn't cry much that day because I didn't understand what I was actually losing. I found out at 17 that I had cried for the wrong reasons my whole life. Or not cried enough for the right ones. Falling apart. I wish I could tell you I handled it gracefully. I didn't. For the next few months, I was a completely different person. I stopped talking to my mom, the woman who raised me, the only mom I'd ever known, because I felt betrayed. Not because she adopted me. I understood why, eventually, but because she lied. For 17 years, she looked me in the eyes and let me believe a version of my life that wasn't true. I stopped going to Sunday dinners. I started skipping school. I got into it with kids at school who didn't even know what was going on just because I had this anger sitting in my chest with nowhere to go. I remember one night, I actually looked up my biological mother's name, my real mother's name. I mean, in a lot of ways she was still my mother, and I found old photos of her online. She looked like me. That was the hardest part. I saw pictures of a woman I never really knew, and I saw my own face staring back at me. I felt like my whole identity had been built on sand. Like I didn't know who I was anymore. Was I even me? Or was I just a story someone made up to keep a family looking normal? You might relate to this feeling, even if your situation is completely different. That feeling of finding out something that makes you question everything you thought was true. It's isolating. Nobody around you gets it, even if they try to. I want to be honest with you. There were nights I genuinely didn't want to keep going. The weight of it all felt like too much. If you're watching this and you're in a dark place right now, please know that it does get lighter, even when it feels impossible. You don't have to carry it alone, and there are people who want to help you carry it. The turning point. Here's the part of the story I didn't expect. About 6 months after I found out, Danny showed up at my window one night. Not the front door, my actual bedroom window, like we were still kids sneaking out. He climbed up, sat on the edge, and just said, "I'm not leaving until you talk to me." We ended up sitting on the roof for almost 3 hours that night. And for the first time since everything happened, I actually let myself cry. Not angry crying, just grieving. Grieving the mother I never really got to know. Grieving the version of my life I thought I had. Danny said something to me that night I'll never forget. He said, "Family isn't about the papers. It's about who stayed." And he was right. My mom, my real mom, the one who raised me, stayed. Even when it would have been easier not to. She could have never told anyone. She could have kept the secret buried forever. But somewhere deep down, even though she was terrified, she wanted me to know the truth eventually. She just didn't know how or when or if there was ever going to be a right time. That night changed something in me. I realized I had two choices. I could keep punishing the people who loved me for a truth they were scared to tell, or I could start healing.
I choose-Ling.
It wasn't instant. Healing never is. But I chose it, putting the pieces back together. The next Sunday, I showed up for dinner. I didn't say much at first. I just sat there. But my mom made that same chicken and rice dish. And when she set the plate in front of me, her hands were shaking a little. She was scared I was going to get up and leave again. I didn't leave. Over the next year, we slowly rebuilt things. It wasn't a magic fix. There were still hard conversations. There were still nights I'd get upset all over again, out of nowhere because grief doesn't move in a straight line. Some days I was fine. Some days I wasn't. But I started asking questions instead of running from them. I asked my mom to tell me everything about my biological mother, the good and the bad. I learned she loved music. I learned she used to sing to me when I was a baby before things got hard for her. I learned she wasn't a bad person. She was a person who struggled, who made mistakes, and who ran out of time to fix them. Learning her story didn't erase my anger completely, but it turned it into something softer, understanding, maybe even a little bit of peace. I also started therapy. I know a lot of people are hesitant to bring that up, but honestly, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. Having someone neutral to talk to, someone who wasn't tangled up in the family history, helped me process things I didn't even know I was still carrying. What I learned. It's been a few years now since that day I found the folder in the closet. I'm not going to sit here and tell you everything is perfect because that would be a lie, and honestly, this whole video started because of a lie, so I'm not about to end it with one. But I will tell you this. I don't see that secret as the thing that destroyed my family anymore. For a long time, I did. I thought the title of my own life story was Betrayal. But now, I think the title is something closer to the thing that forced us to become honest. Because here's what I learned. Secrets don't protect people. They just delay pain. My parents thought they were protecting me by not telling me sooner. But all it did was make the eventual truth hurt so much more, because it came wrapped in years of lies I didn't even know I was living inside of. If you're a parent watching this, or if you're someone holding on to a secret that involves someone else's life, please think hard about what silence is really doing. It might feel like protection, but most of the time, it's just fear wearing a disguise. And if you're like me, if you've ever found out something about your family that shattered the version of reality you thought you understood, I need you to hear this. You are not broken because your history is complicated. You are not less than because your family tree has some tangled branches. Family isn't about biology. It's not even fully about the papers or the legal documents. It's about who shows up. It's about who stays in the room after the truth comes out, even when it would be easier to walk away. My mom stayed. My dad, in his own quiet way, stayed too. Danny never left my side, not for one single day of this. And eventually, I stayed too. I stayed in that family not because it was easy, but because I chose to. A message for you. I know this video was heavy. If you made it this far, thank you for sitting with my story. Maybe you're dealing with a family secret of your own right now. Maybe it's not adoption. Maybe it's something else entirely. A parent who isn't who you thought they were. A truth someone's been hiding for years. Or maybe you're the one holding on to a secret, scared of what happens if it ever comes out. Whatever it is, I want you to know that the truth, even when it's painful, is almost always better than living inside a lie. It hurts at first. It might feel like it destroys everything. But sometimes, destruction is just the process of clearing space to build something more honest. If this story meant something to you, or if it reminded you of your own life in any way, I'd really love to hear about it. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever discovered a truth that changed how you saw your family? You're not alone in this. So many people carry stories just like this one, quietly, without ever saying them out loud. And if you want to hear more real stories like this one, make sure you subscribe because I have a lot more to share. Thank you for listening to mine. I'll see you in the next video.